Here are more explicit guidelines to becoming a legally ordained priest or priestess, the foreign priesthood, and starting your own church. The First United Church of Cthulhu is legally registered in the United States. We are based out of Phoenix, Arizona. To become an ordained priest or priestess anywhere in the world, all you need is the desire to spread the word of Cthulhu. There are no classes to take, no courses to pass, nothing to buy. The mythos is a pantheon. You may worship multiple gods. You do not have to give up any current religious beliefs. Our main tenet is what Lovecraft called cosmicism, or cosmic indifference. Whatever weird alien gods may or may not be out there, they don't care about us. Humanity is insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe. So we say, let's work together and enjoy the short time we have on this rock. We're all headed towards the same black abyss, so try to have fun. Cthulhu doesn't care about us in the first place, so he sure doesn't care about your color, sexuality, or upon which part of this mudball you reside. Anyone can join. Almost all of Lovecraft's work is in the public domain, and you can read free copies online. The best site is hplovecraft.com. And if you do a Google search for complete works of Lovecraft PDF, you can find a downloadable version. You can download for free the official Certificate of Ordination from our main site at fucc.it, if you so desire. You will just have to use a graphics program to add your name and the ordination date. You do not have to go by priest or priestess. You can choose whatever title you want. We have several who like to use the more traditional father, and the Discordians tend towards much longer, flowery titles. Our unholy book is the Astronomicon Minorum. You are under no obligation to buy one, but if you want one, that you're going to have to pay for. There will be a link in the description below. Now, in the US, if you want to perform legal ceremonies like preside over weddings, give last rites, deliver the opening prayer at your local congressional meeting, or counsel the criminally insane, the requirement is going to vary from state to state and sometimes varies from county to county. Some may require a copy of the Certificate of Ordination, and some may require a letter of good standing. If your state unfortunately requires a letter of good standing, that's going to cost you, because it needs to have my signature notarized, and that costs money. But it will then be considered a legal document that also has the church's registration numbers, so they can't deny the authenticity of your ordination. Because some states are making it illegal to get ordained online, but that's because they don't meet the qualifications of real churches. You don't have to worry about that with us. We are legally registered. We have a real-world physical location. We have in-person events and congregations, and we have written religious doctrine, our unholy book. The online-only churches don't have any of that. I will put a link below that you can use to check the requirements for your state on what they need to perform legal ceremonies. Most states nowadays only require you to be an ordained member of your religion and don't require any paperwork. And if you don't want to perform marriages or any of that other stuff, just totally disregard that legal crap. You are now an ordained member of the priesthood of the First United Church of Cthulhu. Now, on to the rest of the world. It's a big place, and I don't live there. One of the few things the United States government gets right is freedom of religion. They're like, hey, cool, get your freak on. Just remember to send in the money afterwards. Now in the UK and Western Europe, you are free to practice whatever religion you want. You want to be a priest of Cthulhu? Boom, you're a priest of Cthulhu. You can perform whatever religious ceremonies you want, including weddings, but in a lot of these countries, a separate marriage license must be applied for and approved by a government official for the marriage to be considered legal. They want their money. And the Church of Cthulhu will probably never be a state-recognized religion in any of those countries, because they have requirements like 250,000 active members, a specific number of physical locations, things like that. With a threshold so high, we won't be able to obtain it. So that means no state benefits either, which probably includes no tax exemptions and no taking of donations. Now I know in my ancestral Viking homelands, The traditional organized religions have been steadily on the decline, and the pagan religions have become more recognized by the state. So the priesthood of Cthulhu isn't a problem, and they might even have relaxed church registration laws, but that's on you to make it happen. I'm looking at you, Finland. In Eastern Europe and Russia, I'm told that the pagan communities have increased in size and acceptance, but there is still religious intolerance and sometimes violence. So welcome to the priesthood of Cthulhu. Just try not to get killed because of it. And I have no idea if becoming a legally recognized church is even possible. In Australia, it looks like to perform marriages, you'll have to register with the state and territory registries of birth, death, and marriages. And since it's religious-based instead of Commonwealth registered, I don't think you'll have to take any of the training courses. And it looks like Australia has an easy church registration system like the US. You just apply for nonprofit status through the ACNC, the Australian Charities and Nonprofits Commission. Canada looks to be about the same. You'll have to check in with your specific province or territory to see if they require any paperwork before you perform marriages. And you can register as a religious charity, i.e. a church, at the government's main website, canada.ca. Church registration in the US is super easy. The church is a nonprofit religious corporation, so you just have to go to your state's corporation commission, or one other time I've seen it was just a generic state office that handled all that kind of stuff. You'll have to Google it. Then fill out the 2-page application, pay your $47 application fee, and in a week they'll mail you your official church document. Then you are tax exempt and can legally accept donations. And if you register as a church, you don't need any of the extra paperwork like a certificate of ordination or letter of good standing because you are the church. And you can call it what you like. The easiest is just First United Church of Cthulhu, then your city or state or country. That way you can abbreviate it to fuck Orlando, or fuck Texas, or fuck Finland. So whether you're here in the US or somewhere else around the world, the rest is up to you. Though you might want to check in with our Facebook group to see if you've got any other local members near you. Until the next time, Cthulhu Fatagan.